Hello, my beautiful friends. Happy Spring Forward Sunday. I always get totally screwed up. That's not the right time. But I'm not going to change it because I can't reach it. So I'm getting ready to go hiking to do a meditation hike. So I just wanted to share with you what that looks like. So if you watch the channel, you know that I am a squirrel. Or as my father used to say, I was born with ants in my pants. So I can't sit still. So traditional meditation, like Om and cross, doesn't work for me because I'm just I'm too busy. So I journal and meditate because that works for me. I write in my journal. I try to do that every day. And then sometimes I'll just do it on the trail. So what I do is I'll pull a rune or something and pull some cards before I go out, and then I'll go on trail. I'll find a spot. I'll sit down. I'll set a little timer. It's a minimum timer, so it's really bright outside today, but it's super super windy. So the place I'm going to go where I'll sit to write, it's an ice cave, so the wind will be blocked, but it will be cold. So I probably can handle about 10 minutes. So I do a 10-minute minimum, and then if I'm really into writing and I can handle the wind, I'll stay longer. And I try to praying is asking God or spirit or higher power, and then meditating is listening. So I did pull a rune before this to see, and the rune that I pulled was Isa, which is ice. And then the cards that kind of went with it sort of indicate that I'm looking at, I don't feel really stuck. I do feel stuck in that I've had to be home with my son, and I wouldn't trade that for the world. But March is usually the high holy month of bagpiping, and usually I'm triple booked every single weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, at bars and stuff and parties and whatnot. And so I kind of stepped away a little bit. I did one yesterday. It was so much fun, but it was pouring rain, and it was, it was an ordeal, but it was so much fun. And I have some, like this coming weekend, St. Patrick's weekend, I have a whole bunch of stuff going on. And I have sitters coming in to stay with the boy. But, I'm kind of in a funk. I'm not feeling myself, because usually March is like my favorite month. It's like, it is, pipers make a lot of money this month. I don't really do it for the money. And I always say I'm the Peter Pan of piping, because I don't need anything more to claim on my taxes, so I try to push a lot of the bigger paying jobs off to the younger kids because they need the money more. I don't do it for money, so I do it because I enjoy it. But I have a buddy that I play with, and we always have a good time. And I was just missing, when I was playing at this bar last night, I had a great time. But I was like, man, if Jim were here, we'd be having a blast, because he and I we have good energy together. We have good performance energy together, and so anyway, so I do feel a little bit stuck in that way, but I know ice, Isa, is, ice is temporary. It's a transitory state. So, unless you live in Antarctica, ice will melt and things will change. And so focus on the change. And then when I pulled the cards, because I had thought maybe that's what it was talking about, just feeling stuck and, just out of sorts because I'm not having the March I usually have. But then when I pulled the cards, it was really about, I think Spirit's directing me toward, really thinking about what I'm doing on this path, because I'm a goal-driven person. I've always been. My mother, God rest her soul, she was like, you have no rest in your ass until you get to your goal. And I'm like, that's true. That's true. And then it was true as a kid. It's true as an adult. I always have a goal in mind. And I've been lacking a goal, because I've done my bucket list. If there's something on my bucket list, I do it, it took me a few years to save up to go to Scotland, but I did it. I'm not a materialistic person, so, I don't need the newest car. In fact, I prefer not to have the newest car. I like older cars because they're not easy to hack. I don't need a lot of stuff. I'm not a materialistic person, so I don't have goals for buying things. I don't have goals for, I go to the places I want to go. I do the things I want to do. I buy what I want. I think the thing that I love the most is just spending time with people, right? But I'm also not that social. So I'm social in spaces I can speak I always say this, I can speak in front of a crowd of 10,000. I can't really stand being in a crowd of 10. I don't like crowded spaces. I don't like people in my space. I have to observe people before I can engage. So I need a little bit of time. And that's funny when you meet me, because I'm usually a jokester, comedian. So, people, I enjoy being with people, but I kind of have to know who they are first. Like I have to get a lay of the land. I try not to get too close to people on a personal level because I try to keep my circle very small. That just comes from, heredity. That's just the way my family was. But as like I have a million acquaintances, but there's like, 2 or 3 that I'm tight with. I always say like to get into the inner sanctum, like if you get like past the gate, like you're a special person because I'm very choosy. So I think the goal today is to think about what my goals are going forward. Like I started, I only have one channel. You all know this because everything's on it. Could be lecture notes for my students, could be hiking directions for people going camping with me. It could be anything, right? But I started sort of this theme of this channel because I wanted to get more comfortable talking about my spirituality, because I feel like there are a lot of Christians out here who are spiritual and not religious, and they don't know what to do. And I'm one of them. I was one of them. And so I thought by speaking more about it and being more open about it, that I would connect with other like-minded people, and that, we could, sort of support one another. And in doing so, I met the sisterhood. I absolutely adore every woman in that group. They're all so different. We all have such different practices and belief systems. I think I might be the only Christian in there. We have witches, we have pagans, we have people who are agnostic or atheist. But everybody's focused on light and love. And so, it doesn't matter what your denomination is, like we come together. But, so I started sort of this theme just so that I would get more comfortable. And that is the ongoing goal. But I don't, I'm not worried about how many subscribers I get. I'm not worried about, I don't monetize. I pay enough taxes really. So, I don't monetize anything that I do, piping, this, whatever, like I don't, and any money that comes in goes right back out to charity. So, all I've ever seen money do is cause problems in people's lives. I didn't grow up with money, so that I guess helped, because I always learned how to sort of operate without having a lot of money. But, and I've been working since I'm 14. So, I had my first job at the Burger King when I was 14. And, I've always been a worker. I've always, brought money in, but, I pay my bills, I pay my taxes, and I provide for my children. And, that's fine. Like, I don't need a flashy car. I don't need flashy clothes. I don't need jewelry. I don't need whatever. Like, I don't have to be. There was a time briefly when I was young, when I was trying to keep up with the Joneses. That probably lasted a year. And I was like, fuck this. I don't want to be like every other girl. Like I don't need all this crap in my house. I don't need like pampered chef and all that shit. A lot of my friends have those stupid shows, and I always buy something because that's the expectation. But I don't buy it because I need it. I buy it because they're my friends. So I think what Spirit's saying to me today is that I just really need to kind of sit down and create a new bucket list. Like, what are the things I want to do? Like, I travel a lot. I hike all over the place, new trails and stuff that I pick out. I like to go play my pipes in other states and do other kinds of things. I like to go to places that are hard to get to, little islands. There's little islands off the coast of Maryland that I like to go to. But I do the things that I want to do, and I do a lot of it solo. I don't know. I do a lot of stuff solo, and I'm okay with that because I'm okay being alone. So I don't know. I think that's the goal today. Is to pray, ask God, what direction you lead me in, and then meditate and listen and write and see what comes out. So I'll let you know how it goes, and I'd be interested to hear if any of you do hiking meditations and what your practice and procedure is for doing that. So I am wishing you all the very best in light and love. Have an amazing Spring Forward Sunday, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.